Hey guys, want to make a quick video here. I am making a bass shaker, aka butt kicker, for my Playseat challenge. I didn't want to spend $200 on the real thing, so I went ahead and went with the DIY route, and I'll tell you what I got going on here. So the main piece of the party here is the Aura bass shaker. This one ran me, I want to say $50, prime shipped 2 days. I've got the sub amp here. I don't remember the exact model name. It's kind of a cheap little Chinese one, but you'll be surprised at how it kicks, really. It was $10 prime shipped. I have a 25-foot aux cable here. This is what's going to run from my computer to the rig, because I'm going to run it under a carpet so nobody trips on it. And then running out the back of that, we have the charger, which these cheap Chinese amps are just powered by a Chinese laptop charger, pretty much. So you can see this one's running at 12 volts with 4 amps. So let's plug this in and get some power going. And I have the classic bowl of water test here. It's kind of a crappy way to do it with these bass shakers. Really, the only way you're going to be able to know what it does is if you actually put your hand next to it, or you sit on top of one of the things that this is mounted to. But I hope that this will give you an idea. Like I said, that one there was, I think 12 volt 4 amps. Then we're going to have a little more fun here. This is the adapter that goes with the wheel. It runs at 24 volts and 2.25 amps. It kicks a lot harder. Unfortunately, I can't really use this at the same time as using the kicker itself, since this goes in the wheel that I'll be using to actually play. So I just want to give you guys a little test here. Let me play this song. And video quality might not be the best. This bowl really rattles on this plank of wood. I put it on my bed here to help dampen the rattling, but it still rattles pretty bad. So I kind of have to push down on this bowl to keep it from rattling. But you got to pay attention to this. It's pretty crazy. This is the volume knob. You can see, I just barely turned it up and it's already going crazy. Now I'm going to put my phone down for a second to turn it up, pick it back up. Hear how much it rattles if I don't push down on it, and water will start spitting out. So alright, hold on 1 second here. I'm gonna unplug this power adapter and plug in the one from the racing wheel. Popped out my aux cable. Pop that back in, and we'll plug in this one from the race wheel, and then this will go plug in over here. Let me turn this video back a little bit so we get to about the same spot. I don't know if you can really see, this water is my hand's getting wet because it's splashing out of the bowl so much. You can see some of it jumping out. I'm gonna stop this before my neighbors come upstairs and kill me, because that thing shakes so much. Last little note here before I cut this video off, in case anyone else was interested in doing this. It's actually stupid simple. You take a piece of wood. I actually just eyeballed and checked the measurements online for the Playseat, and it said it was about 21.5 inches or so on the width dimension. So I took that and I said, give me a 22-inch piece of wood over at Home Depot. I found one that was in there 70% off bin, so it was like still too much for this wood. I could have gotten something way cheaper, but this piece was $4. It was fairly straight and it was nice and sturdy, and it's cedar, so it smells nice too. But yeah, the piece of wood was $4. The kicker, or a bass shaker, bass transducer as they call it, was about 55. Take it, I didn't even, I mean, I just eyeballed it. This thing is not even correctly centered. You can see it's at an angle, but yeah, you stick it on the wood near the center, 4 screws. Then I put 2 screws on the amp. You can see one at the bottom right here, and the top left, right around there. And then you run a cable. Goes from the bass transducer around into the amp. You run your power cable, which that power cable, by the way, the one that I bought specifically for this, was also $10 on Amazon. You run your power cable into the amp, and then you run the aux cable. In my case, it's obviously going to be going to my computer for simulator use. If you wanted to do this to hook it up to your gaming chair so you can have some shaky seat for your first-person shooter gaming Battlefield or whatever, hey, more power to you. Do whatever you want, but otherwise, I cannot find the box right now because my room has a whole bunch. Oh, here it is, actually. Let me open this up real quick for you guys. I'm gonna grab a knife here. Hold on one moment. These are the hooks that I'll be using. So it is a 1-inch. Really, I think it's made for either handlebars, or some other sort of tubing, mostly on automobiles, but the tubing on the Playseat, to the best of my understanding, is 1 inch, so what we've got here is a 1-inch loop with a single hole on it. And then we're going to, let me unplug this real quick. I'm going to basically flip this over, put one on each corner, like so, got 1, 2, like that on that side, and then the same on the other side, of course. And then you screw it down onto the back panel here of the Playseat, on these 2 bars here. That's right under the seat back part. And then, yeah, from there it's pretty much self-explanatory. Plug it into your computer, and it should be pretty much good to go. So total cost on this project here, let me part this out. I got this bass shaker at $55. Got this little amp at $10. The power adapter for the amp was also $10, so that's $75 so far. We'll call the piece of wood $5. It was $4. We'll call it $5 to make it easy, so that's $80. The aux cable was $10, so that's $90. And these specific clamps, there was one that I would have preferred to use, but they weren't getting prime shipped. I didn't want to wait till next week. So these ones were $17, so the total cost comes out to right around $107. That's assuming you can find 4 screws for that, 2 screws for that. The clamps come with some screws to hold them closed, but they do not come with mounting screws, so you'll probably need, I mean, one each. You're going to need a total of 12 screws. I'm sure somebody can find 12 screws around the house. If not, you can get them for $2. The only other thing you'll need is a little bit of wire. I had an old power supply cable I wasn't using for a modular power supply, so instead of buying speaker cable, this is wide enough gauge that it would do what I need, so I just used that and spliced it in there. So the total cost for this whole project was $105, and from now on, whenever I'm driving in Assetto Corsa or Project Cars, I can feel the engine roar. It's going to be real fun. If you got any questions, I guess you could leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.